I'm not sure what we're going to do this Hanukkah. That's what I've heard so many say in recent weeks. I thought it too. I'm not sure what we're going to do this Hanukkah. For so many of us, me included, this season is typically a time for large in person gatherings. This is usually the time for office holiday parties with food and drink, festive meals with friends and family, all seated closely around a table. A time for celebrations of all kinds, exchanging gifts, singing songs. Shopping malls and outdoor flea markets typically overflow with holiday shoppers, and major cities crawl with folks who have come to enjoy the decorations. It's the season of giving. As much as we fight it some years, the holiday season often becomes all about the stuff: the gifts, the decorations, the great sales, the food, the drink, the sweet treats. Not this year, though. This year, given the ongoing pandemic and recent spikes in positivity rates across the country, this year many of us have had to make the painful decision to cancel the holiday gatherings, the family vacations. This year, many of us have had to reimagine our holiday observance. That's left many of us saying, I'm not sure what we're going to do this Hanukkah. So I'd like to share a story I recently heard from a colleague that perhaps will help us all in navigating this year's unique December dilemma. A long time ago, in a land far away, there was a powerful king. The king was beloved by the people for his wisdom, for his patience, kindness, and love. The king had 3 daughters, each with different interests, different skills. The king wasn't sure which of his daughters should follow him as the next ruler of the empire. Each daughter was special and each unique. But he wondered which daughter should be trusted to care for the land after he was gone. Which daughter would have the interests of the people? Which daughter would be fair in judgment? So the king devised a test. He called for the 3 princesses and walked them to a room in the palace which was absolutely empty. And he said to them, for Hanukkah this year, instead of purchasing a gift for me, I want you to fill this room as best you are able. The first daughter got to work immediately. She called in the bulldozers, the earth-moving equipment, the workers with shovels and wheelbarrows, and they got mightily busy. By the end of the first night of Hanukkah, the room was filled floor to ceiling, wall to wall, with huge boulders, small rocks, and medium-sized stones from the nearby countryside. The daughter wanted her father to see that she loved the land, and as sovereign, she would take care of the land and its people. Afterwards, the room was cleared, and the second daughter was given her chance. The second daughter loved to read newspapers and magazines and books of all kinds. She loved to write poetry and had no shortage of paper. Boxes, files, books, and records that had been accumulating dust for so many years suddenly found new purpose. So on the second night of Hanukkah, the daughter filled the room, floor to ceiling, wall to wall, with paper and books and magazines and the archives of the kingdom. She presented the room to her father, explaining that she loved the kingdom so much that she would preserve its history, ensuring that future generations would know how great and how wonderful it has always been. Again, the room was cleared, and the third daughter was given her turn. As the sun set on the third night of Hanukkah, the third daughter seemed very relaxed and didn't appear to be gathering or collecting anything at all. She waited until nightfall and then invited her father and the family to join her in the room. Slowly, they opened the door, and in the room, there were the family's Hanukkah menorahs, and she bought candles. She invited her sisters and father in, and they went over to the candles, and she took out of her pocket a match. She lit the Hanukkah candles first and invited everyone to recite the blessings. They smiled and sang songs, and then lit the Shabbat candles and said that blessing too. And then she turned out the lights. Their daughter explained, "The room may not be as light as when all of the overhead lamps are on, but the light of the candles fill the space." She said the emptiness of life too requires light, whether it's the light of our traditions or the light of Shabbat, or the light that comes from the values of our traditions, or the light of love from others. She said these are the lights of God, and these lights fill the darkest spaces. So what can we today glean from this story to help us in our observance of Hanukkah this year? You see, the truth is that the first daughter's devotion to the land and to its people is admirable. And the second daughter's love of books and history is too. But the third daughter understood something that her sisters didn't: the power of light. The light of the Hanukkah candles and the other holiday rituals. They evoke for us memories we hold from past years, remembering the joy of this season. The light of our friends and our family and the broader community. That light travels miles with love and friendship and the warmth of connection. Even this year, we can still feel the love we share, the connections that will always remain strong. The light we bring to the world when we reach out to others with kindness and love. While receiving is wonderful, there is also a potent benefit to us when we give of our time, of our money, of our know-how to help others. It's empowering, especially in times when we're not feeling so powerful. Let's remember that physical objects, all the stuff, like the presents we give and receive on Hanukkah, the clothes that clutter our closets, or the toys we play with, they don't fill our lives. Rather, it's our relationships, the richness of our tradition, and all of our many blessings that illumines our lives. This year and every year. What the wise third daughter and the next queen of the kingdom understood was that to fill the vacuum of life, we need God's light and warmth. We need the light of each other and eternal values of our heritage to fill our homes and guide us safely along our path. As we celebrate Hanukkah this year, may we all be blessed to take the light of God, the light of our families, the light of love, and fill our lives and illuminate our homes with that which is good, kind, holy, and honorable. Wishing you and your family a happy, a light-filled, and healthy Hanukkah. And Shabbat Shalom.